Okay, so right now there are some people who were once pro-Trump who are saying that they regret that and they're leaving MAGA and whatnot. So let's take a look at what some of these complaints are at the moment.
You guarantee American families won't pay more?
I can't guarantee anything.
When I win, I will immediately bring prices down.
Yeah, we
Okay, so real quick, when he said prior to being elected, when I win, I'm going to bring prices down, and then when he gets in, I can't guarantee anything. Okay, well, obviously, here's the thing: for people who noticed that contradiction after the fact, what you probably should have done was noticed it before the fact. And that is that no matter what words are coming out of a president's mouth, there is nothing that he can guarantee. Okay. His job is to pretty much be a middleman between the population who's paying taxes and who needs to essentially be managed by a president and the shareholders of the Federal Reserve who are gouging, who have interest payments that are insane, nearing 50% of the GDP of the country, if not over at this point, just in interest payments alone on money printed by the government for the government, owned by a private entity who has borrowed that money to the government on interest. Go figure. So, being as though that's the case, in anyone who took economics 101, econ 101, even if you didn't by 40, you should know enough to know that there's nothing that a president can do to bring down the prices on your carton of milk or your dozen of eggs.
we voted for Trump in 2016, 2020, and 2024. We live in the Florida Panhandle, and we thought that this would be good for our business, but we're finding out now that we were wrong. And I want to publicly say that we are regretting our votes at this point. My husband and me own a construction company, and we literally do not have workers anymore. Most of our workers are from Mexico, and they're good, hard workers. I talked to a few of them, and they said they were just too scared to come back to work because of all the rates. Our construction company is likely.
Oh, it's not funny. So, all right. So she is unhappy because he actually, I guess, did what he said he was going to do, which is kick out the illegals, or another way of saying kick out the illegal Mexicans or Hispanics from the South, right? The people who fit a certain physical description first and foremost. We can figure out paperwork a little later, but the initial approach or reproach that they're going to give people is, do you look like you're from south of Mexico? And if you do, let's see your freedom papers, basically. So a lot of people, and it's no secret, hire illegal labor because for many reasons they work hard and they're dirt cheap and they're dependable, reliable, consistent, something that you just don't see in the average American worker.
To go out of business now, and we don't know what we're going to do, but we're never voting for a Republican again. Ron DeSantis and Trump have been passing laws that negatively affect our business, and I just want to say that I'm sorry for voting for him. I grew up Republican, and it's all I've ever known, but now I can see that me and my whole family have been very wrong about this.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, honey. On this, you obviously you got a right to feel how you want to feel, but the thing is, it's not as simple as just being Republican or being Democratic. It's not. There's much more to it than that. And as long as we get stuck in this back and forth as though we're on the 1985 Atari game and it's just ping and there's a little ball bouncing back and forth and we're just going like this, as long as we're stuck on that with this Democratic Republican thing, we're going to be in this mess no matter what side of the line you fall on. Let's go.
So we hope that 2026 comes and we can take back the House and the Senate and stop him from what he's doing. There's a special election coming up in Matt Gaetz's district, and we're going to do everything we can to advocate for a Democrat taking that seat. Yeah, we voted for Trump because he promised while he was campaigning like a million times that when he got into office, he was going to bring down prices, bring down grocery prices. The inflation has been high ever since COVID, and he promised he would bring that down. But it's obvious to me now that that was not true.
Okay, so please, people, let us learn the lesson. There is no president who can do anything to bring down prices. Now, if you're talking WIC, food stamps, or some kind of a government subsidy of that nature, that's an entirely different argument. Okay. The supply and demand and other factors in the market are what determine prices. So, what is it you tell me, please, that a president can do to impact that? There are some things that he can do, but I tell you what he did do to impact prices. He laid tariffs. So, and then when he did that, he said, my people will understand. It's for a short period of time. But in the long run, it's better for America. That's what happened there. Let's roll.
Anything for our children's health insurance.
That is a no-no.
I voted for the president because I thought he was going to take America back again. I didn't think he was going to take funding away from my schools, and we're going to have class sizes that are going to get bigger, and I'm going to lose teachers, and God forbid it actually goes into the funding because those kids rely on that money because some of them eat lunch on Friday. They won't eat again until breakfast Monday morning at school, and that's not what I voted for. I just hope he doesn't do this. Why you think he won't? That's from a video that I just watched of a
Okay, I just gotta say that was a good impression. I didn't know if she was faking that actually. That's crazy.
lady on CNN, an educator. I don't know what capacity she works in education from Kentucky, who got on, I guess, CNN. She got on some show and was just like appalled. Bell County, Kentucky, wherever that is, and was like, I just can't believe that this is happening. Why can't you? Did any of y'all that voted for him go and actually read about Project 2025 or any of the possible plans that he had before y'all voted for him?
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing, and I just want to say this for the record. I'm gonna skip through some of this. Um, we're far too dependent on government in general to be as freedom loving as we are here in the United States, to take all the risks that we do living life, dealing with the dangers of people carrying guns and all the unknown weapons and the different systems that we're up against and battling on a daily basis, whether it's big pharma, big agriculture, uh big government, um, big warmongering, weapons manufacturing companies, uh, man, big porn, um, big law enforcement activities, and that whole judicial branch and the overreach that we're constantly having to fan off, that they continue to step against the line. All of the things that we deal with here. Yet, many of us still insist, well, the government has to help. The government has to help, especially the president. Why is so much expectation on the president when essentially, based on what his functions are, according to the Constitution that we all hear and talk about so much, he's essentially a glorified ambassador to the rest of the world for trade purposes, for in maintaining the border in the army. That's really it. All these other issues with your schools, your law enforcement, police killing you, uh, things being taught in schools that you don't like, judges throwing the book at you and telling you to read it and whatnot. All that's dealt with locally. Judges are elected locally, law enforcement from your mayor, your city council, the sheriff, um, the student, not student, the board of education. Okay, county officials, city officials, state officials are all having more of an impact on your and my day-to-day life here in the United States than the president ever could. Yet, we're all, for the most part, there's no attention that goes on to these things, and everybody's putting all of this expectation on one president who's not even designed to really touch local issues at all. Now, in recent times, there's been all this about executive orders, really the abuse of the executive order, actually. And that's how the president has been able to insert himself without having to go through Congress and without really having to, seek permission from anyone else. But even then, it's still a lot of limits. We got to get off the breast, the nipple of the federal government, folks. If it's meant to be, it's up to you and me. Let's go.
Perspective, we wouldn't be in this position.
They took my wife.
This man who wished not to be identified says his wife is from Venezuela and has lived in the United States for a few years. She was one of 3 people taken from this home. I'm told the 2 others were men who worked in construction. You see them here. This video, only 1 minute and 52 seconds long, we do not see his wife being removed from the home. But this is a picture of her that he keeps in his wallet. Her name is Vianis Ramirez, and he says she was in the process of becoming a United States citizen.
She already had a court date. She was good. Everything's good. He just came in and snatched her.
These are pictures from the Department of Homeland Security detaining other undocumented men and women in Broward County.
It's despicable what they're doing right now. It's very embarrassing.
President Donald Trump arrived at his Trump National Golf Resort in Doral Saturday, set to host GOP leaders for a conference. This man hopes this message makes it to him.
I get a chance to talk to you, man. Yo, please, man, let's work something out. So you, man, let me keep my wife here in the United States, man. She deserves to be here.
Yeah, I'm not sure what his deal was. That seemed a bit sensationalized or manufactured. It didn't show that here, but I remember seeing that guy before saying that he actually voted for Trump somewhere else. And so that's the reason he's in this whole role. He voted for Trump, had an illegal wife. She was deported, and he is somehow confused. It says that this ain't right. Mr. Trump, can I keep my wife here? All right. Let's roll.
Here, man.
I regret my vote. I never in a million years thought I'd say that. I voted for Trump. And now, in the first few weeks of his presidency, thousands and thousands of people are losing their jobs. So, I was the administrator over location discrepancy. So over the last 4 years, we've been studying just exactly where BFE was. And while we were still locating, many locations from years past, we were looking at another 12 years of funding to exactly pinpoint the location of BFE. BFE is just still a mystery. It's very important. But now it's gone.
Yeah, I'm not sure if she's being sarcastic or not. I got no idea what BFE is, and it has no importance or relevance to me. It sounds like, though, she was on swinging from the nipple of the federal government, and the milk dried up. And she, again, as a person who voted for this guy. I mean, well, here's the thing. For in the cases where he's doing what he said he would, and you don't actually like you don't like that fact, even though you voted for him, something is wrong with you. If you're in a situation where he's doing what he said he would, and you don't like the fact that he's doing what he said he would, one President Trump, and you're upset and wanting to lay claim to the injustice that has befallen you, something is wrong with you. Okay? In the cases where he is not doing what he said he'd do, to some extent, I believe we all know as adults that is going to happen in this world called politics. Coming from poly and tick, put those together, and you'll have many bloodsuckers. So from that whole world, to some extent, that's to be expected. For those of us who know enough to know that he could have never done anything about prices, no matter what he said, no harm, no foul there. I guess he was talking to the uneducated or people who were just riding the wave. I don't know. so far, I haven't really seen or heard too much that he hasn't done that he said he would. And bear in mind, I'm not pro-Trump, Biden, or anybody else. I think Kamala would have been a huge disaster no matter what Trump has done thus far, up to February 12th, 2025. And that's just how I see it. But I don't have a dog in the fight. Let's roll.
I can't believe it's gone. Like the Bermuda Triangle. I don't know what I'm going to do now.
I hope she's joking.
I don't know what I'm going to do.
Therapy has always been such a
Whoa. No.
Man, I can't believe I have to say this, but I'm no longer rocking with Trump.
Okay.
Dude, I was the first Gen Zer to support Trump.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely preferred him in 2016 and to some degree 2020. I was with Trump for 9 straight years, 2016 to today. I didn't vote for him in 2024. Actually, thank God. But what happened between me and the employee who told me about the new policy change for giving free water, man, I'm disappointed. I'm very disappointed in Trump right now. We would have been way better off with JD Vance or Butch Ware or Candace Owens, but we got Trump, and we know Trump who he is. He's a corporate shill. He's imposed tariffs. That's not a conservative move. That's not even a nationalist or imperialist move. That's worse than imperialist. It's a feudalist neocon move.
I'm not sure if this guy's joking or not, but let's see.
And Trump, I hope you know better. I should have boycotted Starbucks in October of 2023, but I didn't because I was stupid as hell. Today, I'm going to sell my Trump stock, and I'm also going to be boycotting Starbucks moving forward.
What do you think of the
Yeah, I'm not sure what that whole thing was about. He just pretty much spat a whole bunch of goobly gawk and didn't appear that bright. So we'll try one more of these.
trending hashtag right now, leaving MAGA?
Leaving MAGA. First of all, you should have been in it in the first place. All right, it shouldn't even have been a thing. It's the stupidest thing ever. Second, hashtag leaving MAGA. No. You don't get to fuck this up and just walk away. Get back in there, make this shit right. Unfuck what you fucked. All right? You fucked this all the way. Now unfuck it. That's your job now. Leaving MAGA. No, you wanted to be in it? Stay in it. Enjoy it. It's your fault. We're here now. Unfuck it. You fucked it up. Unfuck it. Make it right. Or you can't? Then you should have left it to the fucking people who really knew what they were doing in the first place. Dumbasses.
Yeah. I like his attitude, and he seems a bit more genuine as far as what he felt, at least, which I can appreciate. All the acting and all that, and the satire, I've kind of had it up to here with that. That's just me. Again, pro Trump or not, I'm pro freedom. You know what I mean? I'm pro humanity. At this point, I see it as a war between the technocratic, oligarchic, humanist, the environmental atheist agenda against the rest of us who are just human at this point. All the other stuff, we can sort that out. Yeah, we live in different countries, we got different religions, backgrounds, preferences, and all that, but it's a whole lot bigger than that at this point. I see that. I certainly hope you do. If not, this is how you find yourself riding waves such as these. One night you wake up, you're pro MAGA, and then because he does one or two things you don't like, now it's I'm leaving MAGA. Well, you can leave, but he doesn't need you, nor does your leaving hurt him in any way, shape, form, or fashion.
I'm starting to think maybe these Trump hating libtards are right. And if he keeps going at the pace he's going, he's going to make good on every one of his campaign promises in the first 6 months. I'm 41 years old. I've lived a struggle my whole life. I honestly thought I had a little bit more time to adjust. I really don't think I'm ready to live in a country that actually functions properly and functions for the people. What are we supposed to do for the last 3.5 years?
Right.
We're just supposed to break out in random chance, let's go Brandon, just for fun and good old times? I mean, as great as it sounds to work, get a little bit extra money back, not pay quite so much in taxes, have our tax dollars actually go to this country, make this country better. It all sounds great. But I honestly thought I had a little bit more time to adjust myself.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, a lot of times, and in this sense, I think he's right. Like, Republicans have kind of, in my lifetime, I'm nearing 40. In my lifetime, they've kind of slowly, when they get in, they kind of slowly move their agenda forward. You don't really see these massive shifts in society like we did when Biden got in there. To some extent with Obama as well. Like, they were shifting and moving, and you saw like changes in society, right? Like blue haired people, green haired people. Not that anything's wrong with dyeing your hair, but I mean like a culture, a movement of just being weird and having to be accepted, and to not be accepted is to be discriminated against. And one would be prosecutable under federal law if you don't accept my awkwardness and embrace me as a healthy member of society, kind of thing. They took it to a whole new level. Now, since Trump has been in, he has exercised some of that power on the side of good. I'll be honest. From the first day he got in there, he said we got two genders in America, a male and female. I agree. You know, banning transgenders from sports, looking into what's going on with the money, preventing $50 million going to Gaza to be used for condoms and things of that nature. All great, all good. True enough, it is happening fast, and he is moving fast, which typically isn't done when that side of the aisle gets in there. So it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing shapes up in the coming days, weeks, and even months, let alone years, right? Because he gets 4, assuming he's in good health and whatnot. But if Biden can make it through, being 3/4 in the grave for pretty much his whole term, then I guess odds, probability, and statistics are on the side of Trump. All right, let's do one more of these MAGA things.
So I've made the decision. And I am #leaving MAGA. When pigs fly. God bless.
There is a massive MAGA grift going on while much of America is distracted.
Big price.
This while the price of basically everything keeps rising. Remember, Trump mainly won on the economy, right? He won on the groceries.
Hey there, you're listening to State.
No, I don't think he mostly won on the groceries or on the economy at all. It was mentioned, but it wasn't mostly that for sure.
Two things: the border, and more than immigration. They like to say immigration. I break it down more to the border, but I won on the border, and I won on groceries. It's a very simple word, groceries. Like almost, who uses the word? I started using the word, the groceries, and I won an election based on that. We're going to bring those prices way down.
I think he genuinely thinks he invented the word groceries. Okay, that was then. Yet in the week since his inauguration, we have seen the groceries and all the other prices increasing almost across the board. According to a data assembly index, Meal Solutions, the meal services for ready-to-eat options are up 4.4%. Baking items up 2.8%. Candy, gum.
Yeah. For this is kind of a knock on us here in the States, actually. ladies and gentlemen, we're just not that bright in these days. I'm sorry. We're just not. And to be honest, we got to do better because we want to do better. If you just want to do better, you want to read a book or something so you can get a raise for $1.50. You want to care more because it's just a fad or a wave that's being ridden in any particular time. That's not going to cut it. If this is the intellectual capacity that we have, for a man to say that I won based on telling people that I'm going to get your grocery prices down, we're in trouble, because you should have known that there's nothing that he can do to impact your grocery prices. He can do things to kind of influence it, but it doesn't work like that. Right? You got to take a look at basic economics here, people. Anyhow, salute to you. Uh Blessings and success to you wherever you are, whatever you may be into. I say it doesn't matter. Tom, Dick, Harry, Trump, Karina, Corinne, Kamala, Kalala, whoever. It doesn't matter who's in there. Our struggle is the same. And if you're really about the business of freedom, you won't be dependent on any president to do anything, any governor to do anything. I will refer you to a great quote that says people should not be afraid of their governments. Governments should be afraid of their people.